Can I interject as well? Recently, I had fallen onto, I believe it was the creator of ChatGPT. On his Instagram, and I just started diving into some of the videos, and it really did, it helped me a lot understand how to be more specific, like you just said. That it was really helpful in what, because I was just kind of tinkering around, not knowing what I do in life, and I find something I don't know, and I just tinker around with it until I figure it out. And so I kind of thought like, okay, Chat GPT seems kind of cool. It can write you a business plan. It can, you can it can do some generic things. But then there was this one video that I fell on that he talked about getting really specific, like you said, like put it in this person's voice, or write me a short essay with this and that, but come from this point of view. And then it was like the creation was so specific and great, and that's where I like the light bulb came on, and I was like, okay, so because I'm like nostalgic about being able to write my own things, and I want to still be very genuine. I want it to be me. And so that was where the light bulb went. Okay, it is still me because I'm directing it exactly what to do. It's just sprucing up
Exactly right.
what I'm saying, or how I could say it.
So the
And
other
so I
thing to
think it's
bear in mind is
incredible
the
what you're
free
talking
version of
about.
ChatGPT has approximately 4,000 tokens. As I said before, it counts in tokens rather than characters, right? So, and that includes your prompting. So, if you're really, really precise in your prompting, you could actually use most of those characters, or those tokens, which actually doesn't leave much space for the response, the answer. And if you copy paste a big article across, it just stops. It just won't give you the answer, right? It's too much. The paid version has, I believe, approximately 25,000 tokens versus 4,000. So there's a big difference there. And I believe the next version that's coming along has got something like 32 million. So, you'll be able to upload the whole of the Harry Potter book or whatever. So there won't be an issue in the future. But at the moment, we need to bear in mind that we've got a limited space capacity for this to work effectively for us. So when it comes to, and the other thing is, as I said before, I find it a bit like a 4-year-old, and even making a cup of tea, you've got to be precise in the recipe and the order. Who's got music? Tim. He's not listening to me anymore. He's got his music going. So I know I'm teasing you.
No, I turned it off. I got a
Okay.
virus on. I got a virus.
Computer.
So
Oh
the
no.
yeah
Okay.
there
Um,
was a problem on the phone.
what I was going to say is, yeah, I know you've
Yeah,
thrown me there. Oh, I
sorry
was
about
talking about
that.
4-year-olds making a cup of tea, and I mean that's being simple about a recipe. But imagine, it's the
Right,
orders
and
of the specific order you would need to put everything in, not just your ingredients, to make breakfast even, right? So, and teaching a 4-year-old how to do that in the right order and what
right,
temperature and so on and so forth, okay? And imagine trying to program a 4-year-old on how to do it correctly. Almost imagine a blind 4-year-old how to do it correctly, and you've got to be as specific as that for ChatGPT. And then if you wanted to change it, your breakfast to have an omelette instead of scrambled egg, then you've got a slightly different um, uh, running order. Okay, so the syntax as well as the recipe and the actual specific order is really important. And you can actually make it as you said, Steph, you can make it as unique as you like with adding accents and you might do it you might do it in rhyme, for example, or you might do it as William Shakespeare or I don't know, Robbie Williams, whatever. So there's a whole load of different ways of putting this across. Um, and just you can make it even amusing to your readers, just saying, how would Donald Trump read this out, etc. And you have a totally different without plagiarism, it'll be a very unique response at the end of it all. So yeah, it is fun. What I was going to say about all that is that you have to bear in mind that if your prompt is too long, then A, you might run out of character space, but B, you might confuse the actual command that you were trying, right? So if, for example, you told it to speak like
Mm.
Sean Connery and make an omelette, you go, well, wait a minute, what order am I doing this in again? And it gets confused. So the next thing we're doing now is we're at the next level of ChatGPT, which is actually putting things in order as well and making it autonomous. So I've been playing this week with one called make.com, where I can actually get it to pull in my data from my Google spreadsheets, then take my prompt into ChatGPT, do something with it, like make it unique, for example, put an accent on, for example, then take that and put that into, now do some more research for me and find me 5 items regarding turtles from Tulum or whatever, right? And it will go away and find that and put that in there as well. And then I might add something else, what would happen in winter time or whatever. And it's just another level of prompting, one step at a time. And then ultimately, on this particular one I was playing with this week, it sends it over to Google Docs for me. So I've got my complete document, and all I did was press the button once at the beginning, and it did all these prompts for me. So yeah, I'm getting really clever with it now. I'm up at 9 different prompts here to create my articles, and that's taken a lot of months to get to that level to refine my prompts, you know. But at the end of the day, when I take my article now and I put it into a
Absolutely.
plagiarism checker or an AI content checker, it will say this is unique item, you see. And I literally just pressed one button and it went over to my Google Sheets and it went back to the commands and it went and ultimately sent it to my Google Docs. So very, very, very clever. And that's where we're heading with it now. So where does that take a journalist, a writer? I think there's still a lot of space there for it, and in fact, you could be upping the ante on the services that you're offering to other people now, because you can actually do this based on what they want to achieve, and you can get AI to help you, and you know you can churn out 40 in an hour rather than 1 in an hour. So that's down to your ingenuity and being clever about it as well. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's so amazing. And I have a question. Where do you just tinker around yourself and trial and error, or how do you learn more? What, like, are there sites, or is there news
I
sites?
think
Is
it's a
there
really simple
different
answer to
websites
this.
that
If I was
teach?
interested in old cars, I'd be
Yeah.
watching YouTube videos and all sorts about old cars every day. If I was interested in hairdressing, I'd be doing, or fashion, I'd be constantly scrolling and I'd be following people on Instagram and YouTube and whatever, TikTok, whatever, Facebook and so on. And I would have loads of different groups and different sources of information that coming at me all the time. So it's whatever your passion is, Steph, and I don't know what your passion is, but for me, I've been passionate about being at the cutting edge of technology. In fact, I generated my first income online 2 years before Google started. So I've just always been interested in search engine optimization and so on, and trying to figure out what are the search engines actually trying to achieve here. How can I help them? And everybody wins from it, you know. And so, like in 2012, I actually had the largest mobile app developer in the UK. I was the largest mobile app developer in the UK, which was actually pretty quickly after smartphones had been developed in the first place. So I was actually way ahead of my time. So it was really hard work because most businesses were not ready for mobile-friendly websites, never mind mobile apps.
Wow.
But I just love, you know, when Facebook first introduced fan pages or Twitter just came out, etc., I was diving in there. I didn't just want to be an expert. I wanted to dominate. I want to find out how I can dominate this stuff. So I've just done the same with AI. That I'm looking at probably 12 hours a day. I'm looking at various different aspects of AI and what we can do with it and what else is getting done. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, I have a lot of different sources and I've tried lots of things as well. And I think you would do the same for whatever you're passionate.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're right. Yeah, exactly. You research and you learn. I just wasn't sure if there was like, like you go to the news channel. There's like, a couple different news channels that are like really good. So I just wasn't sure if there was like one or a couple specific things that you really enjoy like looking at and learning on, or like you said, if it's just kind of a little bit of everything and you're just diving into a bunch of things. And yeah, I'm a health coach and a nutritionist, and I'm a chef, and so I help people get healthier. I create recipes. I cook for events, and I do one-on-one as well as group and retreats for people to get healthier. And so I post online, and I'm always wanting to just I want to speak better. I mean, I am an expert, and I'm wanting to position myself as an expert, and then on not just the content part, but I'm also I'm very fascinated on how to use it for for my website or for SEO. And I think all of that, those are all things that I've heard the words, I've tried the things, but I'm still not an expert at it, because I'm expert at nutrition and helping people. So when it comes to business and tech, that's another setup as well. So I'm looking forward to learning all of that stuff, and so that was really helpful too. Just the reminder of dig
I
deeper
used to
if
teach
you want to know.
businesses, but 20 years ago, in fact 22 years ago, I used to teach small businesses, and I used to fly to Toronto once every 3 months for one day of business coaching. And one of the things I would often tell people, and I still do, is don't try and do it all yourself. Right. When we were at school, if you were rubbish at math, they would tell you to do more and practice it and so on. And what I say is exact opposite. If you look at people like Richard Branson, Elon Musk, etc., these people don't do every task. They pay experts to do the tasks, right? So if you want to get a website built, pay someone else to build the website. If you want search engine optimization done or marketing done, etc., pay the experts and let them do it so you can concentrate on what you do best, which in your instance is chef and nutrition and so on. And you'll know, as someone that's looked into nutrition, there are so many different viewpoints on the right way to do something, or so many different diets, etc., and people focusing on losing weight rather than losing fat. And so, it's just amazing how many different tangents you can go down, and people classifying themselves as experts. So you will be just as passionate about trying to get the answers and the sources as on that side of things, on health and nutrition and fitness and chefing and so on, as I have been on AI. So it's exactly the same. You've got a passion and that's what you're interested in. I will say though that one thing I would never look to is the media news for my information. So you started that by saying there's a couple of great news channels. I would never look to the news. And I'll tell you why, because they are biased. It's as simple as that. They are biased. They will only tell what they are allowed to read off the piece of paper in front of them. So, and it actually reminds me of was it Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams, when they had in the newsroom, that a couple of men in the newsroom, and they put a line through everything. No, we're not allowed to read that out. No, we're not telling them that. We're not sharing that. There's a lot more going on in the world than the news are allowed to share with us. So, I would personally never use the news for my sources of information. However, there are many great sources, and it comes down to your
Absolutely.
own intuition as well, and what you feel is right. And if someone's saying, I don't know, peanuts is the right diet to have this week, you might have enough knowledge and go, wait a minute, some people are actually allergic and can die from peanuts. We can't just say peanuts is the way to go. So that's kind of your knowledge, your information that you want to be getting out there and sharing. But what I will say is learn what I'm teaching or covering regularly is all the different aspects of website building and search engine optimization and marketing, social media and so on. Learn it first, especially now with AI. There's so much we can do this. It's free of charge and it's so fast that in fact you don't need to pay other people to do a lot of your stuff. But then you will learn what stuff you don't want to be dealing with and whom you want to pass it on to. So, for example, have you heard of Fiverr.com? Fiverr with two R's. Steph, have you heard of Fiverr? Yeah. Um, if, if you um, if you are
Yeah.
looking, okay, perfect.
Yes.
So if you are looking
I've used it a
today
couple different
on
times.
Fiverr to get someone to write social media posts for you, would you want them to say that they are using AI and they are AI knowledgeable, or would that put you off?
That's a great question. I haven't really thought of
What
that.
about you, Tim?
I don't know. I feel like I need to sit there with that a little bit.
I think it would put me off because then I would wonder how much was actually
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I've
content
actually asked
versus
this question
computer.
in Playa del Carmen a few times with a bigger audience, and the first time I asked it, I had yes, no, yes, no. It was literally every second person would say yes, I would hire that person, or no, I definitely would not. And it was literally every second person was yes, no, all the way around the room, and I was like, wow, that's where we're at today. And I think in my head, it's a bit like the older generation who refused to move from their press button Nokia phone to a smartphone. Is like, it's there, and the old phone, the old Nokia still works fine. So you're right. However, the new technology is moving so fast now. The old Nokia can't do video chats for a start. But now, most people are watching videos and things on their smartphones, smart devices. So the technology is moving, it is evolving. And my own attitude is I would rather have someone that is knowledgeable, understanding, and absolutely, if they mention that they're using AI, I'd probably be expecting more from them. I'd expect I don't know, a 1,500 page report rather than a 500 word article or whatever. Um, and I'd probably expect 10 times as much for my money, but they can do that in the same length of time now if they're doing it right. So it's interesting. And the other thing is, it's going to happen whether they advertise it now or not, because AI is coming into all sorts of things, even Canva. But Google's got Google Bard now, and they're bringing it into Gmail, and all the Google Maps and all sorts of things. Everything is going to have AI coming to us very, very, very soon. And the same with Microsoft. Microsoft owns Bing, and they also own PowerPoint and so on. So all your AI is coming into your Word docs and your spreadsheets and so on. It's already there. It's already available. And in fact, if you paid the ChatGPT Pro version, there are plugins already available as well. So it can actually analyze your spreadsheets for you using everyday language, and you type it in what you're trying to achieve, and it will go away and search through your spreadsheets or search through your PowerPoint, etc., and come back and tell you. So yeah, it's fascinating where we're going with all this. Creating your email responses to clients or potentially pitching for a new bit of business, you can just press one button and the prompt's already written for you. So we're really moving forward fast now. Any words of wisdom there, Tim? Tim's not.
My 96-year-old boss, I took to my 96-year-old boss, I took to Tim Hortons, and he still had to finally
Yeah,
go away from his Nokia push button phone that he wore around his neck, because all he wanted was a phone. He doesn't want any of the other stuff. He doesn't want to learn how to text. No. I don't take pictures with the
yeah,
phone. I just have
yeah.
it
And
to
it's
talk to
as I said,
people.
we revert back to the 10 and 11-year-olds that I had in my
Very
audience.
interesting.
You know, it's amazing how fast the younger generation pick up the technology. They're not scared by it. They'll take photos. And I saw one. I saw one a couple of days ago. I was out at one of the restaurants, and there was a kid. She must have been like 3 years old, and she had the phone right up at her mother's eye, and she was taking a macro photo of the eye. And I was like, do you know, there's no fear. It's amazing, actually. No fear at all. So it's amazing how things have evolved.
The child came out of the child came the child came out of the womb with one in hand
Fortunately, I wouldn't think so.
today.
I know, I know. So
I know, I'm
we haven't gone
teasing.
into any of
It's,
the we haven't gone
I
into
mean,
any of
they're
the SEO
so
content
adept
that I've
at
got
it.
prepared for
Holy.
today, but I think I deliberately wanted to just tailor this around you guys and where you're at, and chat with you so that we can see if we can guide you further forward for this week. So let's start with Tim since he was here first. Tim, what would be the most useful question that you could have answered this week?
Well, still trying to make some money online. You sent me that one thing and said I should look at doing that. Um, and it's it's more complicated, and I have a hard time sometimes in following along. And if I get stuck on one thing,
Okay.
then I go, oh boy, how do I move along? Um, an example of that is in putting um, uh, ads on Facebook
Okay.
to do attraction marketing, and not to tell them about my product or my service, but to create interest in it, so that they ask me, "Oh, what's that all about?" So I'm
So I've
I'm
got a
working
question
with
for you, Tim.
another fella that's doing this kind
I
of.
have a
He's
question for
doing
you,
a
Tim.
rollout campaign.
Do you think that you could possibly
Yes.
type everything you just said into AI and actually ask AI how to create the best Facebook ads for you? Okay.
I already have, and it has come back with some really good ones. And so I'm learning how to do that as well. My friend is rolling out a campaign, so they already have a series of these. And for me, it's like, okay, how to learn quickly, and that's the
Sure.
Chat
Okay.
GPT
Perfect.
is
So there's a
certainly
couple of
helping me,
others that
Mike.
you could use instead of ChatGPT that will be up to date as well, because ChatGPT is only up to September 2021 for the free version. So I like Claude. I don't know if you've heard of Claude. I'll type it in here.
Okay.
I'll type it in Claude.ai. I'll type it in the text here. And another one I like is perplexity.ai. So try these. Oh, I spelled that wrong. It's perplexity. Plexity. And there's also yeah, PE.
It's
E for
PAR.
Perplexity. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
PE, not
And
PAR.
Claude.ai.
Okay. Sure.
These are all bang up to date. There's another one, I think it's called pro.com as well. These are up to date, and they'll tell you live statistics. So you could, for example, also you've got Bing.com, and you've got Bard.google. And you could, for example, say, give me the URLs of the best videos that shows me how to do blah, 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 right? So if you're, yeah, exactly. So it'll actually
Well,
give
that's a
you the
good idea.
URLs of the videos so you don't need to go and search for it. The advantage of using the AI is that you can type it in your language. You can type it in layman's terms saying, so I'm trying to do my Facebook ads and I want a video that will show me how to do this in the fastest way, right? And I want a video less than 10 minutes long. Now find me the URLs. But if you were to go and do a Google search, how do you even Google search for Facebook ads? You know, it's not giving us the same response at all. Whereas at least using AI, we can use everyday language and tell it what we're trying to achieve, and then it will give us the responses. So the ones I've just given you there are all up to date, whereas ChatGPT is only up to September 2021. So it might come back and say, "Sorry, I'm only a language model, or I'm not up to date, and I can't help you with that." Okay. Does that help you as well, Steph?
Okay.
I see you taking notes there. As
Yes,
you're spinning us around your
absolutely.
lap,
Thank
I
you.
can
I
see you
just took
taking
notes
notes.
as well. I
I
know.
was getting dizzy. I chose to
I'm
look
trying
at
to
Tim
get
instead.
comfortable with this on my knees. Sorry.
Yeah, that's really good. If I just put it in my
Yeah.
own words,
Yeah,
then
because I mean, you
it'll
can't
pick
do
up
that in
what I'm
YouTube just
asking
yet,
and
and you
trying to
can't do it
communicate.
in a Google search
That's
just yet, but you can do it with these other AIs that I've just given you there in your own words. If it's not giving you exactly what you, and you could break it down as well. Again, as we said before, think of it as a 4-year-old and just say, give me 5 simple steps to how to do this, for example. Okay, or give me the answer in bullet point fashion. Because you don't need a 1,000-word document. You don't need a big article. You just want to be
right.
smart and to the point, snappy, and you need to tell it that that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Make sense? You're welcome.
Okay.
Give you some homework to do
Yes,
this
it makes
week.
a lot of sense.
Oh,
Thanks,
by
Mike.
the way, Tim, just
That
when you
helps.
were speaking, something came to my mind. I saw an advert on
Well,
Instagram this morning. I actually, it wasn't an advert. It was just someone's feature. And I haven't gone off to check this, but he said if you scroll to the bottom of Amazon.com, and in there, see if I can remember how it phrased it. It was something like work with us or become a reviewer. And basically, you can actually create review videos of everyday items that you're using around the house and upload it to the item for sale on Amazon. And if anybody watches your review video and then buys the item, you get commission. So you only record it once with your smartphone. It doesn't matter if it's a good review or a bad review. You might be saying, don't touch this coffee filter machine with a barge pole. It doesn't matter as far as Amazon's concerned. They will upload it. And if anybody watches your video first and then buys the item, then you'll get commission on it.
Oh.
Wait, can you explain that again?
Where
Or
shall I
can you
start?
dive a little deeper into that?
So Amazon.com, Amazon.com, scroll to the bottom. I only saw it this morning, so I haven't actually done this, but it's something to the effect of work with us or give us your reviews, something like that. Maybe it's work with us first and then give us your reviews, and they will pay you. So basically, you record a review of an everyday item that you're using around the house anyway, and then upload it on wherever they're selling it on Amazon, and then if anybody watches your review video and then buys the item, you'll get a commission. Didn't tell me how much commission, but the point is, as he said, you only do the review once, and it's always there. So if I was you, I'd probably be looking at the most expensive items that you could think of. You know, if you've got a water filtration system, Steph, that costs you 4,000 or whatever, or even if you don't, but your friend does, you know, I'm sure you know people in Tulum that have got water filtration systems that are a few $1,000s, and go along with your camera and say, well, this one's under the sink and this one, blah, blah, blah. And it takes a few seconds to come through, and they only need to buy the filters once every 6 months, whatever. You give a little review and then upload it. Amazon doesn't care, and you can get paid on that. Oh, she's left us. She's left the room.
Oh. Well, we got to make sure, Mike, that we actually sell it on Amazon.
Well, that would make sense.
Is that correct? Because if they don't, because I don't think they sell.
I don't know, actually. I've never looked on Amazon for a Kangen. I think Kangen is actually a multi-level item, but you will get water filters on Amazon, I'm sure.
It is, yeah. Right. I see. Well, that's another source that I can go and certainly look at, and I think that if you do it once and it keeps going and it starts making money, then that's really what we're trying to do.
Does that help you as well, Steph?
In my opinion.
Good.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Very valuable.
Yeah, we just bought one of these machines that that cooks your food, an air fryer, and we got rid of the old one that was analog, and then we got a digital one, and then what my son just got the other day is a double one that cooks two things at the same time, and it's all digital, and so now you can have your protein and your vegetables all come out at the same time. It's awesome.
Something tells me that's the Ninja or the Instant Pot one. It has two doors.
You know, I was looking at them in a shop here in Playa del Carmen called Liverpool, and I was looking at them just at the weekend there. In fact, the air fryers, and it was fascinating to see the difference in pricing actually, because some of them are 2 or even 3 times the price. And obviously they've got bigger capacity and so on. But I was like, wow, it's amazing the differences. So if you can review things like that, and you know there's a few $100s someone might be spending, then and get commission on that could be worth your while.
Oh my! That could be worth quite a bit of money, especially if.
And do you know how to become an Amazon affiliate? Okay, they used. They used to call it associates. It's been ages since I've gone and looked at it, because again, you only need to sign up once. So I've got my associate number. But if you scroll to the bottom, if you see Amazon affiliate or Amazon associate, and they'll give you your number, and whatever you want to recommend, you can actually deep dive. So it's called deep linking. So you can actually go straight to the particular air fryer that you want to recommend. For example, pick up your unique affiliate code for that item. Okay, they'll give you the code free of charge, and then you can even shorten it as well. So instead of having a great big long URL, just shorten it. And there's loads of places that you can get a link shortener, and then you could post that on your Facebook, you could post it on your blog, you could post it anywhere, and just say, and especially if you've already done a review, check out this review I put on Amazon. I'm already on the on Amazon website. people will go and check it out and they'll go, "Oh, Steph, I really love that review. In fact, I just bought one." You go, "Woohoo!"
Totally.
Oh, this is
But
funny.
the other thing about Amazon, unfortunately, they've reduced their cookies now, so it's only 24 hours. But it used to be a 30-day cookie that they had. But what it would mean is that if you knew, for example, that asparagus was on sale and it's 50 cents, you could send it out to your mailing list and say asparagus for 50 cents, and I'm into nutrition, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't matter if they buy asparagus or not, if they then go off and do their own research and say, actually, today I wanted to buy a TV, you'll get the commission on that TV because your cookie was embedded in the link that they followed through on. So, yeah. A cookie is basically just remembering the
What's a
source.
cookie?
Simple as that. The link that you send them, Amazon will recognize that it came from you, but they only hold that cookie for 24 hours now.
For a
24 hours.
moment, I thought
24
since we were
hours.
talking also about like nutrition and like cooking utensils, I actually thought you meant a real cookie. but then I was following it and I thought,
That's
oh
funny.
no, it's the
Yeah, that's
cookies
funny.
that are embedded.
So,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Does that help you guys?
Okay.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Well, normally, I mean,
Yeah,
every
I
single
look
week
forward to the
I
next
create
time.
and I prepare a unique mind map, which takes about an hour to go through. But today, as it was your first time on, I thought it'd be good just to see where you're at with it. And especially when you first started talking, I thought, okay, SEO is not where she's at today. So I didn't dive into that. But yeah, it's good to guide you through what could help you today and this week. Actually, before we go, Steph, I asked Tim what would be a great question for him to resolve this week. I'll ask the same for you. What would be the best thing that I can help you with this week, or AI?
You know, I feel like you'd spent a good amount of time explaining in the beginning to me. So I feel like I took a good amount of time up for us today. And when you asked Tim first, I actually in my mind thought, what can I think right now? And I honestly I don't know that I have something at the
Sure.
moment. I don't know if it's because it's still early for me
One of the
or
questions I
because
like
I
to
just,
ask at
you
my
answered a lot
Friday
at the
meetings,
beginning.
I deliberately call it a mastermind and networking meeting, because the reason I call it mastermind rather than come and listen to Mike is it's inevitable that we've all got different levels of experience now. So if you know stuff or you've experienced something, you can share it. You can mastermind with us rather than it just all coming from me all the time. So one of the questions I like to ask at the end is, if you were
Yeah.
to be accountable by this time next week, Steph, for something you said today that you were going to achieve or look at, what would you like to be made accountable for?
Mm. Oh gosh. Um,
Great answer. I
Thank
love
you
that
for
response.
asking. Give me just a moment. um, I think honestly, I think what you were just talking about with the reviews, I think that's amazing
Well,
with the
no,
Amazon reviews.
if
I know
you're
that's not
happy
technically
to,
AI, but
if
that's
you're happy to commit to by this time next week, you at least investigate that, then I'm happy with that as well.
yeah. And you know what? And I'll also commit to having some more in depth either things to share around AI or
Brilliant.
maybe a
Okay,
couple other
guys,
questions.
well, I'll wrap it up for today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have
And
a good
I'm going to
day.
do this. I'm going to do the same thing with the review, Mike. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a review and post it. And I'm going to work my way through
Good. I'm
through
glad to hear
my
it.
newbiness.
Okay. All right. At the top of this screen, you'll see a
Thanks.
little black door. It says
Thanks,
exit.
Mike.
So you can just
Okay.
press that and you can leave when you're ready. Okay, guys. See you
Oh
later.
yeah.
Bye.
Thank
Next
you.
week.
See you
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right, Mike. When's the best time? When's the best time to send you a message that
Well,
you're?
I mean,
Is that
anytime.
later
My
at
phone's
night when
always on
you're at
silent
home,
because when I'm in focus
or
mode,
during?
that's it. I'm focused, so I don't look at it till I'm ready. So yeah, you can send me a message anytime. You've got all my details to
Right.
contact me. I just don't look at if I'm with someone, for example, I don't look at
Yeah.
my phone. If I'm in focus mode, I don't look at my phone. So I don't even receive phone calls from family. I look at my calls when I'm ready, not when other people are ready to call me.
You sound like my grandmother. When the phone rang, I was with her. I said, aren't you going to answer the phone? She said, no, I'm with you.
Sure.
And that I pay for. That's my convenience. I respect our time
See, I
because
used to
I
be a
don't
financial
see you but
advisor, and
3 or 4
I
times a
used to leave
year.
the phone in the car
And
when I went to see clients for that very reason. And obviously, it'd be glued to my ear most of the time. Otherwise, but when I'm with someone, I expect the same level of respect from them. I expect them to switch the TV off, and we're focused now on their finances. Simple as that. And yeah, I think it's just a level of respect, and it's a difference between important versus urgent. The telephone is urgent because it makes a noise, but whoever's in front of you right now is who's important. And I say that to my clients as well. The clients, I've had clients get upset with me for not being on the end of the phone when they want to call me, and I say, no, no, no. When I'm with you, if I'm in we have a Zoom meeting or whatever, you don't expect me just to go and answer the phone to someone else. So it's as simple as that. When I'm with someone, then they get my attention, and otherwise they make an appointment to see me, and then they can have my attention. Otherwise, I might be giving someone else my attention. So yeah, that's how I deal my life.
right, I have I'm gonna have to get a new phone because the I dropped the phone and I got
No,
a virus. So I've got two main issues with the phone. And I didn't think you could get a virus on the phone, but I took it in, and the recommendation
really?
last night was
Wow.
that I go get a new phone. Yeah, well, and also now that it's damaged, now the value of it, and it's 3 years
Yep,
old.
I
The
hear you.
technology has changed.
Okay, sir, I'll leave you with that then.
Yeah. So okay.
No worries.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm slowly coming along, and I think the best words you said to me was, Tim, just just stay
Persistence.
with it, you know,
It's
and
all part of the
and
journey.
little bit by little
Some
bit,
people
I'm
get it
getting,
much faster. It's like learning a bicycle.
I'm
Some people learn to ride it at four
oh
years
my
old, and,
gosh.
and other people take it much, much longer with the stabilizer wheels.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna eventually get rid of
Okay,
my
speak to you
training
soon,
wheels.
Tim. Take care, man. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah. Okay.